the products on the cases
but
to get you
Simon,
to buy more.
let me ask you this: what would possess what would possess you to do this?
What kind of person? A masochist?
Yeah, I mean, did you know that going into it? I mean, you didn't know
No.
until it first aired just what you'd gotten yourselves into, right?
Not at all. And you know, one of the biggest mistakes Alex and I made is that we do not watch TV, or we did not watch TV. Did not really know about the reality phenomena. And this sounds crazy. You know, we are two reasonably intelligent people, and you would think we would do some research before embarking on a very wild ride. So, what possessed us? Look, I think...
I mean, I hope they paid you a fortune, because then...
I think someone on my show was quoted as saying that season 1 bought maybe a very cheap handbag. And it wasn't a B bag.
Well, because what I'd read was that they got paid $10,000 each for the season 1. We're close. We hot.
We are.
We're in the realm.
We are.
Of course, some people would say that's not a very cheap handbag.
Yeah. Well, maybe my first answer was more accurate.
Oh, okay. But now you're doing much better. I mean, now because you're making Bravo a lot of money.
Yes. I would
and I assume you now all have agents and lawyers involved who are.
But we are fairly dispensable.
Well, but
the
wait.
The show. I mean, Frances
Why
Berwick,
would they
general
be
manager
giving
of Bravo,
Bethany her own show if she's dispensable?
Well, we're talking the Real Housewives, not a spin-off show that may or may not eventuate.
Okay.
But Frances Berwick, general manager of Bravo, was on record last week when she was talking about the loss of Project Runway and how it really hasn't affected Bravo's ratings.
Yes.
And saying that they are very determined that they will never have one show, one franchise, or one cast member who they can't replace at will.
Is this a warning to the Washington cast?
From me,
yes.
Certainly not. No, it's a warning to, you know, Bravo were very astute. They are they're one of 2 shining networks in the NBC Universal family who have done phenomenally well. And you know, I'd imagine if Comcast closed the deal with NBC in the next few months, Bravo won't really change their MO. They're a very, very smart network. They're making a ton of money, and there are a number of Americans like me who, and the rest of my family and the rest of the New York cast, who are prepared to expose themselves on television for the world to comment on.
When did you first hear them talking about a Washington show?
Look, there has been discussion about lots of different cities. I think Washington. When did I first hear about it? You know, also don't forget that a lot of what we hear is exactly what you read or hear.
But you're with the crews, you're with the producers, you're probably getting a little...
Each of the franchises are made by different companies.
Yeah, but still, you're getting a higher tier of gossip than we are.
No, because we don't really deal a lot with Bravo, except when our shows are actually airing.
Well, when you heard the rumors that there'd be a Washington show, what was your reaction?
That's going to be a tough city to film in. Knowing the contracts that we have, knowing just, you know, obviously when Fred Thompson ran for president, you know, Law and Order had to come off the air. There is a prohibition in our contract that says we cannot run public office for 12 months or 24 months, whatever it is, after
What about
a show
your
airs.
spouse?
The same. I mean, the contract that Alex and I have is the same.
But no, let me just, you keep saying Alex and I, because you're probably, are you different from a lot of the other husbands?
Contractually, no.
Because every husband has to be part of the contract?
I will also say
you're much more, of all the franchises, you are easily the most visible husband.
But that's by and large because Alex was working a full-time gig in seasons 1 and seasons 2, and so therefore was only filming evenings and weekends.
Yeah, but Simon, to go back to something you said, that they shoot and shoot and shoot, and then you don't know what they're going to do with it until you see it. And were you surprised how much of a presence you were?
No, not really, because we were only shooting evenings and weekends, and those are times when Alex and I are together. So therefore, it was. I realized that I was going to be on camera quite a lot, and I suppose what really brought it home was that I would sit there and do the interviews when it's just me talking to the camera, and I realized that most of the other husbands weren't doing that. So therefore, I realized that I was going to have.
You took a lot of heat for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been called everything.
You name it, I've been told it.
I probably
and most of those words we cannot say in this company.
I probably can't even name a lot of it right here. But,
indeed.
And so, do you enjoy this?
You learn very quickly that someone who you do not know cannot say anything to hurt you. I mean, except when they say it about your children, and that's the hypocrisy in a way. Yeah. In that I don't care what anyone says about me. If they don't know me, my friends don't have the same opinion of me now as they had then, before the show. And also you are only seeing on the show the most magnified, the best, the worst of any of our lives, and you miss, the meat in the middle. If I give you the worst 1% of you, Carol, and the best 1% of you, and I miss that 98% across here, if all I'm seeing are those two ends of the spectrum, then I don't really know you. I know little bits about you. Well,
so tell me then, at some level, that you're really enjoying this, that it's a lark.
We wouldn't be back for season 3. We wouldn't have, look,
because a lot of people...
Season 1 was a baptism of fire. By the end of that season, Alex and I had both lost about 15 pounds as we watched the show through the 6 or 7 episodes it was. And we were, Alex went on the Today Show the morning of season 1 premiered, and they had started back on January 22nd, they ran a 30-minute preview, which was repeated on Bravo as they do, but this was repeated for about 6 weeks until our actual premiere aired. By then, everyone had fixed in a mindset what Alex was like, and that wasn't a very nice view of her. So she went on the Today Show the morning, and she was very...
rebutted her own image?
And had Bravo PR people in tears and senior vice presidents from Bravo at her saying, you cannot do that again, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of that, and season 1 didn't really get much better for us, we did come back for season 2. Why? Well, there was really only one way to go, and that was up. Coming back for season 3, there was some hesitancy from us both, because we did repair our image to a large extent in season 2. Not with everybody, and that's fine.
Well, the advantage you had in season 2 is that as some people became crazier, you started to look saner. Don't you think?
There was certainly an element of that. Kelly was the new girl season 2.
Well, you said it for me.
And she walked. She was as naive, in some ways more naive than we were, than we had been in season 1. And that did take a lot of heat off us as well. Also because a lot of our storyline in season 2 was tied up with our house renovation, we were removed from a lot of the cast. There wasn't a huge amount of interaction with the other cast. Are there
ever moments after something's been shot, say for example when you took Alex on her surprise birthday and you had a meltdown, do you ever wish, is there ever a moment where you...
That meltdown was with the crew, not with the driver.
The meltdown, okay. But do you ever say, no, I don't want you to air that, and it's honored? Or can you not do that?
We have no rights whatsoever.
You have no rights to. Boy, you really have to either have Ativan or lots of self-control.
Look, that particular scene where you see me lose it in the back of the limo.
Of course, they want you to do that, don't they?
Which was that, and that's the thing. You see Alex reacting like this. That's not because she's seeing her husband lose.
And the cameraman's going.
She knows that. Well, there's a cameraman sitting in the car. There's another crew car in front of us. But Alex knows exactly how they're going to use this footage. That's why she's looking so depressed about my outburst.
But they want that. They want that.
They want that. You will see me on that particular episode. You hear me talk about it, and production and I had several conversations about how I couldn't stop them using it. I would not say things that were a blatant lie, and I was careful with what I did say that was true to the driver, because I was not about to trash this wonderful driver who had driven Alex and I a lot and blame him because it wasn't his fault.
The Vogue in Washington has been